Hey everyone, this is Casual Fanatic.
Film reviews without the shoes.
I'm Luca, your casual viewer.
And I'm Cayman, your fanatic. What's up?
Why, hello.
How's it going?
Man, it's going crazy, bro.
Going crazy.
So, yeah, the reason, as the viewers don't know this, we were supposed to record this morning at one point in the morning. We didn't really discuss the time, but I was at a bonfire last night and I was leaving like around, I would say around 2-ish, maybe a little earlier. But on my way home, I was riding my motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
And the GPS in my helmet said make a U-turn, and I was like, what? Why would I make a U-turn? And I've never driven from his place back to my place, not on a highway, because I don't want to do highway driving at 2 a.m. Actually, I don't want to do that ever on that motorcycle. But basically, like, I pulled my phone out at a red light and like looked at it, and I like looked up, and then bam, fucking the light changed green like immediately. And so I like rushed, put it back in my pocket, stalled my motorcycle, restarted it, and like drove off.
Yeah.
And I got on the highway, and bro, about I don't know how long into the highway I was, but I realized my phone fell out of my pocket.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I like immediately turned around. I thought I lost it, where like I thought I put it back in my pocket. So what happened was, I'm guessing, is I put it back in my pocket, but what felt like my pocket was actually the outside of the pocket.
Oh, I see.
And like, I just like, hurriedly, like it felt like it was in there, and I like go, cause I had my gloves on. Right. So I can't really, the dexterity is gone, and basically got back home at around like 3:30 ish in the morning.
So you found it?
And luckily, yeah, bro. So the first time I went back to the place where I was at, my buddy's house.
Yeah.
I used Find My iPhone on one of their phones. Couldn't find it. It was off. And I was like, well, I guess it fell out of my pocket, or like a car ran over it, or someone like just turned it off. And then I like went out again, came back, and my buddy was like, look, I'll go out there and like help you try to look for it in my car. I was like, all right, cool. So we did that. And then like we went and like walked it on the on-ramp, and with lights, with like flashlights, couldn't find it. And then we walked back to the car, and I asked his girlfriend, I was like, hey, like, do you mind just calling it, seeing if it rings? And it rung. Whoa. And so on her phone, I did like the Find My iPhone, and we found it. And it was about half a mile into the highway on the right side of like this barrier. And like my buddy and I, we like ran out onto the highway. Shout out Eric.
Off on the side, like not in the middle of the lane. Yeah,
it wasn't on the middle of the lane, luckily, because it fell out of my right pocket, and I was in the far right lane. So I'm guessing it just kind of like slid and like, bounced. And but yeah, shout out Eric and fucking Morgan. You guys are the homies. But yeah, I literally was like, dude, this is like, it's too dangerous us walking out here on the highway, and it's just not worth it for my phone for us to risk our lives.
For sure.
Honestly.
I keep my phone in my left pocket, so I would not have that experience.
Oh God, yeah. So now I'm gonna do some research at one point and get a phone mount for my motorcycle, so I don't have to like pull it out of my pocket and put it back in my pocket, that kind of stuff.
All right.
Yeah, but nothing crazy happened to it. Like the case is a bit scuffed. My screen protector was completely shattered.
Oh, okay.
Say what?
I was gonna say no, like super intense scratches or anything like that.
No, not really. Nothing crazy intense. Like there's like this little dent, because I have like that metal phone. There's like a little dent on it. And then my screen protector had like on the exterior of the screen protector, it was shattered. But this morning I went to T-Mobile, they changed it right away for free, and here we are. So that was a 4-minute and 30-second story. What have you been up to?
Tiny little crack on the side of my screen protector, and if you like look in certain light, it like there's like tiny little spider webs that go all the way across the screen, but like on a day-to-day basis, I can't notice it, so it's not that big of a deal.
I couldn't do it. That's annoying. I have like a lifetime plan for screen protectors on this phone. Like if I want to go tomorrow and just change it, cause I can.
That's nice.
It's very nice.
I have an extra one because it came in a pack of 2, but I feel like I don't want to replace it and then something immediately happen to the new one. So I'll give this one a little bit longer because it's not bothering me that much.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, what have you been up to, man?
Mostly work, but had a few doodads, I suppose. On Friday, we went to work out with one of Elena's friends. I mean, I guess at this point he's just as much my friend as he is Elena's, but met him through one of Elena's friends. So it's like Elena's friend's friend originally, but his name's Mario.
Okay.
And me and Elena and her friend Astrid went to work out with Mario at his gym in Fayetteville, which is like a little less than an hour south of us.
What the fuck? That far for a workout?
It's not that far.
An hour?
Elena goes to school there, so back and forth to Fayetteville is like, we do that quite often.
Gross.
It's like,
well, how was your workout though?
45 to 50 minutes.
Okay.
What I was saying, so Mario is like he does like powerlifting competitions and stuff like that. So he's like,
oh wow,
he's a big guy.
Damn.
I think because the routine that he had us doing was we did some deadlifts and then we did some squats and then we did some curls. And this man was deadlifting like I want to say over 500. Like he just kept fucking putting shit on that bar, and I was like, God damn, like you're gonna run out of space.
Oh my, damn, that's insane.
Yeah. And then but so honestly, the deadlifts, I feel like I didn't feel them initially, and because I don't know, I felt a lot like in my back, and I'm always a little nervous when like I feel my back during a workout, because I know that's like it's really easy to fuck up your spine. So I'm usually a little more careful with workouts like that.
Yeah.
And then the squats were pretty difficult. They weren't like super hard, but they were definitely like they were intense. But the fucking curls at the end really fucking got me. My arms are still sore, and it hurts to extend them all the way. Like I have to keep my elbows bent a little bit.
Oh god, that means you overworked. You did too much.
And then yesterday, we went and played some beach volleyball. So I got even more of a workout in.
Damn, bro. Well, sounds like you're gonna get fit.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Very nice. Well, besides our, your workout endeavors and my losing the phone and refinding it endeavors, what are we talking about today?
Today we are going to be talking about the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, Knock at the Cabin, which came out about a month or so ago. I don't know why I can never find the exact release dates, but came out a little while ago. Yeah, obviously, like I said, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. It was also written by him and Steve Desmond, and stars Dave Bautista, Jonathan Groff, Ben Aldridge, Rupert Grint, Abby Quinn, Kristen Q, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Nikki Amuka-Bird, and some other people. But those are the main, there's seven characters pretty much, other than like background people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is let's see here, estimated budget $20 million, really cheap movie.
Wow.
And they made about 54.7 million worldwide.
Not bad.
It's definitely didn't make a whole lot of money off that, but
I mean, still double in some.
I mean, yeah, but
too bad.
The budget doesn't include how much they spent on marketing and all that stuff. So
that's very true. It probably made only then what, 20K? All right, 20 million. I mean,
if that.
Oof.
But yeah, I don't know how familiar you are with the work of M. Night Shyamalan, but
nope.
He has quite an extensive history. Some of it really good, some of it not so good. And
really,
we'll discuss, I suppose, where this one falls on that range. But do you know The Sixth Sense?
I don't, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a very famous movie from 1999. He did that one. He did Unbreakable, The Village. He did Devil, which was like a horror movie on an elevator. Or no, he produced that. He didn't direct it. I don't know. Either way, it looks like he produced most of. I don't know. No, he did not. He did not direct Devil. Okay, but yeah, he has I won't say always like horror movies, but he tends to lean more towards the horror genre.
Mm-hmm.
But his like big thing that he's known for is always having like a big twist at the end. So like obviously spoiler for The Sixth Sense, but like the whole movie is about this little kid and this guy discussing the kid has like a weird ability to see he can see dead people, and
Okay.
there's like this whole thing going on, and he's like, I don't want to say partnered up, but he's like talking to this guy for the whole movie, and he's helping him do some stuff, and at the very end he figures out that the guy he's been talking to it has also been dead the whole time.
Oh wow, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
So do you like scary movies? Is that like your thing?
Not really. I don't usually go to horror movies now.
Yeah.
I know you
Interesting,
really
okay.
don't like them.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know, like whenever I want to watch something, I want to like feel like a certain type of satisfaction at the end. And I'm just not the person that horror movies do that for.
I gotcha.
Every now and then, like I can really appreciate things that happen in the movie, and or how it was filmed, or like the thought that went into it.
Mhm.
But most of the time, I just think that it's a little bit cheesy, and I don't think I'm ever like actually scared in any of them.
Yeah.
It's just I just get bored maybe because I know like the typical scenarios that could happen in my head,
Yeah.
and one of them is going to come true.
I will say I don't think, as far as Knock at the Cabin goes, I don't think I would necessarily qualify this as a horror movie. It's more of like
No.
a thriller, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
like
not
a
like
gore
a
thriller.
it's
I would
not
say.
like oh, there's a monster coming to get you. It's just like some weird shit's happening and it's kind of tense.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with that. It's definitely not a horror movie. It's more of a thriller type movie. But I mean, if we go into what we think of the movie, honestly, if I want to rate it out of 10, I would probably give this one like a 4.
Yeah.
It didn't do it for me. It was honestly, I watched it and then I wanted to play like a video game after, and I couldn't play my video game the way that I would usually play it in the same headspace, because I was still in the headspace of the thriller, and it just didn't work for me.
It just
I literally had to stop playing my game and go like sleep. Huh?
Just messes with you a little bit.
It does. And I think the reason is like it's weird. Like while I'm watching it, I'm not scared at all. Nothing. It just doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
But I'm so emotionally connected that like I don't know, my emotions are different afterwards. Like I'm not scared during the movie, but I just feel not good. Right.
I gotcha.
And I had incredibly like intense, vivid nightmares when I was younger, where I had and even I had the last one I had of this, I think, was junior year of undergrad, where I would have nightmares, but I'm awake. So it would happen to me at any point. Like I'd be the last one that happened. I was driving home, and it's like as if I snap and I'm in this like day nightmare, and I know like I'm having a nightmare, but
yeah,
it's fucking weird. But yeah, my opinions is like this movie was okay. Here and there were really cool shots. It was an okay idea, but nothing that would wow me, in my opinion. What do you think?
I think it was pretty good, but not as good as I was hoping it would be.
Okay.
I feel like it definitely, and we'll get into this a little bit more in spoilers. But I feel like I was talking about earlier, because it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, I feel like I was expecting some big twist, but this movie kind of makes it impossible. Like there's no way for anything unexpected to happen, because the film really just gives you two options, and so you're like, okay, one of these two things is going to be what happens.
Right. They literally say in the movie like this or this, and I won't do this. Like,
and cool. So yeah, I mean, I guess he could have had like some random crazy thing happen at the end there, but yeah, it just didn't go that way.
Right. Okay.
Well, let us go ahead then and step into the boxing ring.
Well, last time, oh wait, I don't have the right file open. Give me one second.
All right.
All right. So last time you went first, and then I went second.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So you said it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Wait. What was the last thing that we recorded? The new one. Oh no. So
we did the new John Wick last time.
I think I go first.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. Did I write it in? Yeah. Okay. It's my turn. Let's see. While a family of 3 takes a vacation at a remote cabin, some choices are going to have to be made while strangers visit them in order to stop the world from ending. Yeah, okay. That's my thing.
I'm gonna say a family's vacation is interrupted by 4 strangers who force them to make an impossible decision.
All right. That was good. I should have mentioned that there were 4 of them. That's important. All right. Let's see the real deal.
While vacationing, hold on, the whole website just reset. Okay, here we go. While vacationing at a remote cabin, a young girl and her parents are taken hostage by 4 armed strangers who demand that the family make an unthinkable choice to avert the apocalypse. With limited access to the outside world, the family must decide what they believe before all is lost.
Okay. Right off the bat, I got
remote cabin.
I got remote cabin. I got apocalypse.
Yeah. But I did mention 4 strangers, and I did say this says unthinkable choice. I said impossible choice, I think, but I also didn't mention the apocalypse, and you did. I don't know. I think you may have gotten a few more details than, because you also mentioned the young girl specifically, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So I think you might win this one. That was close, but I think if looking at it here, I think I only specifically mentioned 2 things, and I think you specifically mentioned 3 things.
Okay, I honestly don't remember what I said. So, all right. I don't remember the deets, but I mean, well, I'll take it. I'll take the dub. Up to you.
Yeah.
Good job. Right, cool. Hell yeah, man! Finally, fucking after how many movies, man?
You've won before.
I'm sure Cayman over there is like, I'll just give him this one. It's okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a little break, and then we'll come back and get into spoilers here.
All right, let's do it.
Break over.
And we're back.
I don't know what that noise was. I'm sorry.
You were breathing in hard there, bro. It's like that. Yeah.
I was gonna say spoiler time, but had to announce that the break was over before we say spoiler time. So
yeah. Well, with that being said,
this is the spoiler section. If you don't want the movie spoiled, don't listen.
Nice.
All right.
All right. So I guess I'll go ahead and yeah, it mentioned it in the letterbox description, but obviously for those of you still listening, you've either seen the movie or don't care. So basically the entire the thread that the movie hangs on to is, are these 4 people telling the truth, or are they just crazy? And that's what I was trying to say earlier, where there's not really any room for something unexpected, because it's like, well, I mean, either they're crazy or they're not. Those are really the only 2 options.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard choice, right? Like, you can tell that these people are extremely serious about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so fucking crazy.
Yeah. And they do, they give this is the thing that I think I really one of my biggest, I guess, problems that I had was I wanted it to be, because I had heard before I saw the movie, I don't even remember where I heard it, but someone had said that, oh, the movie keeps you guessing the whole time, and you never really know what the truth is until the end. And I just felt like that wasn't really true. I feel like the first half of the movie leaned really hard one way, and then the second half of the movie leaned really hard the other way.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the choice was given, but the whole time, it may have been the way they were acting, or the way that one of the couples was coming off. But I think the whole time I knew that it was a legit thing that was happening.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it feels like it wouldn't be as interesting of a movie, I guess, if it was just four crazy people. But also,
Right.
I'm sure there is an interesting way to write a movie like that, because people write movies about crazy people breaking into a cabin all the time.
Oh yeah, and it happens in real life all the time. Like they said, they were like, what did they say? Something about them being like in a crazy cult, you know, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
or that like you guys just reached out on a Facebook group and like, you know, lo and behold, it just happened to click.
Yeah, they do give like a couple little hints towards the beginning of like, oh, well, because the like one of the big questions is like, well, why did you guys pick our family? And they find out that one of the four people had an interaction with them like I don't remember how long ago, but years ago,
a few years back,
like had a big bar fight because this guy was like super
Kind of
homophobic. Yeah. And so they were like, you guys are just here to torture us because we're gay and blah blah blah. And then later on in the movie, there's even a part where one of them is like, well, yeah, he did remember he on the forum that we were talking on, he mentioned a cabin, and then after that, then we all started having visions about the cabin. And it's like one of those things where like you can't really tell how much of it is legit them having visions and how much is like they were just like feeding off of each other's like craziness and just like adding things to their vision that weren't really there in the beginning.
Right. Yeah, fueling each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like one person might, and this is like a thing, like one person might remember a detail, right? And they would say it out loud, and then the other person's like, yeah, I remember that too, but it never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. The movie does play with like that a lot of like, I don't know, like being crazy versus like how do you bring across a crazy truth to someone, right?
Yeah.
Like if there's something so crazy out there, like, dude, I don't even know what would like the apocalypse thing, right? Like I have a vision. I never believed in God, but now like it happened, right?
Yeah.
Like how do you bring that thought process across to someone without literally sounding crazy or like cult like?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. If you were in that situation that they were in, what would you have done? Like, what would you have thought?
I feel like they could have started out a lot better. Showing up to someone's house with a bunch of like giant makeshift weapons is not a good way to get someone to be on your side.
Very true. Not a good sign. Yeah, that's probably not the best way. I mean, the way he started talking to the girl, the child at the start was very, you know, that was the right way to approach it, I think.
Yeah, and you get, because we find out about halfway through the movie that like he's a teacher, and so you can see how he, out of all four of them, it feels like he's the one who is most aware of what's happening with the little girl. Her name is Wen, and is like always trying to be like conscious of where she is and what she sees and doesn't see and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Huh. Yeah. It was like an interesting start though with Wen and the older man. It was a little bit weird. You know, the storyline could have gone so many different ways. Either like he's about to kidnap her, or
okay, so the four people are Leonard, who's played by Dave Bautista, and then Sabrina is played by Nikki Amuka-Bird, Redmond played by Rupert Grint, and Adrian, I don't know. I think it's just Adrian. I don't remember how they pronounced it. Played by Abby Quinn.
Man, poor Rupert. His role was over so quick.
Yeah, it was.
Who do you think had the best acting, I would say, out of the four?
I mean, it's hard to say because they all had such different roles. I think that Ben Aldridge, who played Andrew, did a really good job.
I agree. He was a buff guy, right?
He was the more aggressive of the couple.
Oh, you think him? Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, Dave Bautista also did a really good job. He played Leonard. He's the big guy.
Yeah. I think he did the best. I think that
no, Dave Bautista is a really good actor. I like him in everything that he's in.
Yeah. No, but I'm thinking of the four, right? The four whatchamacallit. What are they called? That was revealed at one part in the movie.
Oh, I mean, at one point, Eric, the other guy, says that they like are supposed to represent the four horsemen of the apocalypse. But
yes.
doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Wait, why not?
Well, because he mentions what it's like. They're like
One's caring and nurturing, the other
anger,
one
caring, guidance, and
healing or health.
and healing. Yeah, but like those aren't the four horsemen.
Wait, really?
No. The four horsemen of the apocalypse are they're bad things. One of them is like famine, one is pestilence. Like they're literal like things that bring the end of the world with them. Not like
maybe it was like a twist.
nurturing.
Maybe it was like the evil things, but like backwards.
But then one of them was still like anger, and that's not a good thing.
I mean, his could be emotions.
I don't know.
He wasn't that angry the whole time.
Yeah, but that's what they said he represented.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you could tell he was British. He was trying to pull off like this weird Southern accent, but here and there you definitely heard his British accent come through. And I was like,
I
bro,
think it's
come on.
definitely, I don't know why. I feel like for some reason, British people, when they're trying to imitate an American accent, they always go for Southern. Like, I don't know, maybe something about the drawl of it sort of makes it maybe a bit easier than like a Midwestern accent or something like that.
Yeah, but even like a regular drawl, he couldn't get down.
I mean, yeah, but it wasn't like in your face.
No. I mean, I guess I was listening for it just because I know of his, Harry Potter career, but yeah.
I will say I did like that because this movie is rated R, but I feel like it's mostly for language. I guess also for violence, but I guess I was expecting it to be a lot more gory, and it really wasn't. Most of the like the scenes that you would expect to be gory were kind of like happen off screen.
That's true. Like when they like would hit him, you'd hear the sound, and then like you would see the drop of the dead guy. Yeah.
There was also the M. Night Shyamalan had a cameo, which he does in all of his movies.
Oh God.
You probably don't know what he looks like, so you wouldn't have noticed. But he was one of the people in the infomercial on TV. I think they were selling like an air fryer or something.
Okay, wow, yeah, that's such a small detail. I didn't see it at all.
Yeah.
I remember the scene, but I don't remember their faces really. That's pretty cool though. Good for him. He's kind of taken off after what was his name? Fuck. For the Avengers and all that stuff.
Who? What?
The cameo that would always pop into all of the Marvel.
Oh, you're thinking of Stan Lee.
Stan Lee, yes. Do a lot of people do cameos? Is that like a thing that movies have just cause? Like if you know, you know?
I mean, yeah. Like, there was we talked about back when we did the Glass Onion. There was a lot of cameos in Glass Onion.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's just fun to be like, hey, we're just gonna have like a small, like maybe 30 seconds up to like 5 minutes, I think is like the longest cameo I've seen. But it's just like you just bring in someone that people recognize and be like, hey, look at them, they're in this movie, but they're not like really in the movie. It's just like for a little bit.
Right. I was like, oh, cool, thanks. Later. Yeah. Okay, so what is your opinion on the flashbacks that we had here and there? Like one of the flashbacks was them adopting the little girl in that little hospital. Then there was another flashback with the parents, them driving for 7 hours and only staying 45 minutes and leaving.
Yep.
And I think there was one more, like the bar scene that was obviously a throwback. But what do you think of those? Like just randomly in the middle, it went back.
I kind of like the format of it. Because I feel like I wouldn't have liked it as much if it was like all of the normal stuff, and then halfway through the movie we get to the cabin stuff. I like that it starts immediately with the cabin stuff, and then they just like sprinkle the other stuff in there.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like I didn't really get anything from the flashbacks. Like
that's what I'm thinking too.
They were pretty meaningless to me.
Yeah. Like I guess I understand one of the flashbacks was like, I mean, most of the flashbacks had to do with why they were so protective over, or I guess not protective, but defensive over being gay, right?
Yeah,
and
I think it was just like to establish their relationship.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you could tell like, oh, this is when they were adopting the girl. They were like, oh, this is blah, blah, blah. He's my wife's brother, right?
Yeah.
And then there was the scene with the parents. They obviously didn't approve of him being gay. And then there was a scene of the bar fight, which they, obviously got into a tussle because they were gay.
Well, and
I think,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I think this ties back into their main story of how the producer is trying to get the audience to connect the two of like, no, they are right. Like, this is just a gay hate crime. And, these crazies are just here to do harm to these people.
Well, and I think it also is just to like help build an emotional connection with them. Because if you see all of these scenes of them like adopting a kid together and going on their first date and all of this stuff, then it helps you care about them more, so that it's more emotional when bad stuff happens later.
Yeah, but did you get emotionally connected to either of them?
I mean,
I'm like an emotional person,
super,
and I really didn't.
No, yeah. I feel like what emotional connection I did have, I already had from just the cabin scenes. I didn't need the extra ones.
Right. Yeah, you can tell like how much they loved each other, how much they loved the girl, and all that stuff. I don't know. Just wanted to see what you thought about those flashbacks.
Yeah, and I will say, going back to the acting for just a second, I'm not saying that he did a bad job, but Jonathan Groff, who plays Eric, I feel like I don't know, I just couldn't let go of like how recognizable he is, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because like Rupert Grint is also recognizable, Dave Bautista is also super recognizable. I feel like they were able to disappear into their characters a little bit more, whereas Jonathan Groff, because I only have seen him in two other things. He played the king in the Hamilton musical, and then he was the like evil CEO guy in Matrix Resurrection, and I feel like those are such like boisterous roles, and they're very like I don't know, they're just like very flamboyant, like theater kid kind of roles where it's like, look at me making a big scene and everyone looks at me and I'm doing this thing. And I feel like it didn't, I don't know, I couldn't connect with him trying to do a more subtle role here. Like,
okay,
everyone else felt very like down to earth and realistic, but I feel like sometimes he felt like he was still being like big, like showy, flashy kind of acting.
I mean, I can see that for sure. Honestly, I didn't pay too much attention to that detail, but here and there, I did kind of get a weird vibe whenever he was, doing some of his parts. I don't know. Good observation. Yeah.
What did you think about all of the like news stuff on the TV?
Dude, I honestly was not a fan. I think they could have done a much better job. I don't know, I guess with $20 million budget, but like, I don't know. I feel like him like timing it was weird to me. I feel like if he would have just turned on the news and just kept it on and like they made their no decision and then like
it was kind of weird that he like kept turning it off and on again. But I guess you don't want the TV just running 24/7 because that would be annoying.
Right, but you can like mute it and then unmute
That's
it,
true.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of, like.
Yeah, but then they would have had to like animate whatever's on that TV the whole time in the background.
But come on. You have enough people to put some bullshit out there. Like, I don't know. I think that's like my one grudge with those news scenes is one, they weren't as realistic as I wish they would have been.
Yeah.
Like the footage with like the big wave, like you're never going to be able to get that footage, right? Like that dude is dead and the phone is done.
Unless he was literally like live broadcasting. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But
That's
if that was just like
quality
someone taking a video on their phone, there's like, you're not recovering that phone, especially right after it happened. Like,
right.
How did they already go in
like
there,
immediately
find that phone, somehow get the footage off of it like minutes after the wave hit?
Yeah, like that's something that I wish they could have like improved on. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the timing. I think if they would have just kept it running in the background, and then like if they made the no decision at one point after, they would have, continue having some dialogue, but then at one point, bam, like the fucking disaster hits and like they're watching it live.
I know, obviously, like I'm not saying no one would do this because the like like fight or flight, and then there's like also the freeze option that no one talks about. And some people, like when they're in a stressful situation, they do just like freeze up and don't do anything. But I feel like going back to that wave footage, see this giant wave, and I feel like 90% of the people on that beach just stood there and watched it. And they didn't start running until like the last second. I'm like, if I like, does no one on the beach know what a tsunami looks like? Like if I saw that happening, I'd start running immediately.
Yeah. Where would you run to, you think?
Also,
because behind them was like they had to basically climb stairs to get back up top.
Yeah.
Where the houses were. And there was a big ass rock on the left.
Yeah.
Where would you have gone?
I don't know. Because obviously the wave was bigger than the rock.
Right.
So it's not like you can go up on there. I guess I would just try and get as far away from it as possible and hope that as it crashes through giant rocks and buildings and stuff that it slows down enough that it doesn't get me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would have ran to the rock on the left because one, it was closest to you. Two, that wave was already on their ass. Like there's no way I'm going to be able to sprint all the way to the back of the beach, up some stairs. Like there's no chance. I think the best chance I would have had is to go to the rock.
I don't know.
Like,
didn't it knock the rock over? Like you would have just been crushed
took the
under
top
the
part
rock.
off, maybe, but I feel like that's the best life chance I've got.
And also I feel like this is small detail, but they didn't show the water receding, and that's like number one sign of a tsunami is if the water like all of a sudden just disappears. You're like, okay, that's bad.
Run. Yeah, that is true. Like honestly, if a kiddo would have been like, there was this one news story like way back when that happened, and a kid started yelling about like two tsunamis coming.
Yeah, because she had like just learned about it in school.
Yeah, and she saved like hundreds of people's lives.
Yeah,
just with that knowledge, right? And here it's just like they're playing. All of a sudden, this fucking massive wave comes, and like there's still people in the water just having a good time. Yeah. That's a flaw. Good observation. I don't know.
I gotta say, it was so ridiculously cheesy to me with the planes falling out of the sky.
Oh my God.
Like it just looked so silly.
It was so bad. I don't know why that was the thing that they thought of I don't know.
Well, and that's the point where they really throw it in your face. Like the earthquake in the beginning, and then the like disease that's spreading. Both of those things, they're able to be like, oh, well, that disease has been going around for a while. It's just having an outbreak right now, but we already knew about that. And then with the earthquake, it was like the earthquake hit like 14 minutes ago before they even got here, whatever. Yeah. And so it was like there were reasons to believe that those two might have just been coincidences. But then they turn it on the third time, and it's like literally every single plane in the world is falling out of the sky.
Yeah, just fucking weird.
And it's like, okay, well, obviously this one, like the movie's just throwing it in your face that they are telling the truth. Not now. Like there's no way to spin that to make it seem like these are crazy people anymore.
Right. And I don't know if that's like a perk to the movie, or if that's just a flaw, or if they just got lazy and were like, all right, now we're going to start focusing on, I don't know what they were wanting to focus on, something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a big fan of that scene either. I think the most realistic one was the earthquake.
How did you feel about the ending?
The ending of the burning house, the CGI being terrible, and then everything just stopped dying, and they were at a diner and they just rode off to the distance.
Yeah, it just like, I don't know why the ending took so long. Like the climax happened, and there's like the big choice, and he has to shoot his husband, and then he like goes and climbs up into the treehouse, and they're sitting there, and it's like a sad moment, and I'm like, I feel like that would have been enough if you're just like, yeah, they did it. And then,
but then they had to show them walking out of the fucking
and then
woods,
they go and find the
burning.
truck, and then they find all the stuff in the back seat, and they're like, oh, that person did have a son. Oh, this person was a teacher.
Oh,
I was like,
God.
Why did we have to do all of that?
Yeah, and then they go to the diner, and then they listen to more news, and the lady's on her phone, and then they get back into the car and drive off. Like, come on.
It was a lot. Did not like
it. It was just dumb. Like, that's the type of ending that just pisses me off, right? Like, there are certain ways that you can elegantly end a movie, and then there's overkill, right? And in my opinion, that was overkill.
Like, it felt like it wasn't like like it felt like it could have ended with like, boom, big moment, big emotions, and then like maybe give it like 10 seconds of them like sitting in the treehouse, and that's your like calm down. But if you take that calm down moment and stretch it out for another 15 minutes, then it just feels like you're just like slowly dying off, and it's just like such a bleh. Like there's no emotion leaving the movie.
Right. I think there were only two things in my mind, obviously, because I'm not like a big fan, but I do think that the lighting they chose was very interesting, and it brought the mood across well.
Yeah.
I think the lighting in this movie was done very well. I would also say that, what's the other thing? Well, maybe that's it.
All right.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But okay, so the song that kept playing in the car, like when they arrived there, the song played, and when they left, the song played. Wasn't that song used in one of the Avengers movies?
Honestly, I don't even remember what song it was.
I don't remember either, but when I heard that, I was like, I'm pretty sure they played this song with like Groot and I hope that's Avengers. Fuck.
That's
with
Guardians
Groot.
of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that. In like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure they played that in like one of the ship scenes where they were like all like jamming out.
I
don't
it's
know,
definitely
but
possible.
yeah. But honestly, yeah, I think the lighting is like a good thing that they did in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all I can think of.
Yeah, it was very strange. And there was
one more.
Yeah.
Sorry. I do like though the twist at the beginning where they killed Rupert.
Okay.
I do like I like that twist. Right when that happened, I was like, oh wow, like
yeah, I guess
serious.
you like, because they make it clear off the bat. They're like, we're not going to hurt you. You have to make this decision for yourself. We can't make it for you, blah, blah, blah. But you don't really expect them to start killing each other until it happens.
Yeah. Like he put that white thing over his head and I was like, huh, so like, is he going to suffocate himself? I was a bit confused, like why that needed to be there.
Yeah.
But then the fucking axes came down and just chopped his head. And I guess like, why do you think they put the head thing on just so that they didn't have to deal with facial expressions or the CGI of like it going into the head, that kind of thing?
I don't know. I guess like from a story perspective, I guess it would just be so like, yeah, so you don't have to like see a dead person's face.
Okay. I feel though like that took away from the legitness of it, you know? Like I think he went back out there to look for the dead body of him and then his wallet to make sure that he was maybe even dead. Because I think he believed like because he was the guy that bullied him once at the bar and beat him up.
Yeah.
That this was just like a sick scheme and like he wasn't really dead. I don't know. But
I don't know. I didn't get that impression. I think because he even mentioned earlier, he was like, go check his wallet. And they were like, no, we're not going to do that. So I think for me at least, it seemed like he was just going out to get the wallet.
Okay.
And I mean, but at that point it was too late. Like that was one of those other things where like, he was like, look, see, I told you it was just because we're gay. He was the person that attacked us at the bar. But I'm like, bro, at this point, we've already seen literally 100 planes fall out of the sky. Like,
yeah,
there's no rationalizing what happened anymore.
Right. Do you have any plus sides to the movie?
I mean, yeah, I've mentioned a couple. Like I said, I like the fact that I liked the format of jumping back and forth between the cabin and the flashbacks. I liked a lot of the actors did a good job. I liked that it wasn't very bloody because I don't like gory stuff.
I got you. Yeah, no, I would agree with all that. I just think it was a poor movie overall, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Or maybe I'm just like that guy that's just like fucking hell to all scary movies, aka thrillers and all that. I mean stuff.
I'm sure that definitely affects it. But even as someone who like from time to time I can enjoy a scary movie, but this one just like didn't live up to what I was thinking in my head, I think.
Gotcha. That's fair.
But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to some trivia.
Let's do it.
I don't have a whole lot here. But M. Night Shyamalan decided to cast Dave Bautista after being impressed with his performance in Blade Runner 2049.
Wait, say that again? In Blade Runner 2049, he was impressed with his performance, so he took him?
Yeah. Have you seen Blade Runner 2049? I
haven't, no.
Dave Bautista is in that movie as well, and I think he also does a really good job in that one.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if you noticed during the opening credits, but this movie was based on a book, and it's called The Cabin at the End of the World.
I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
And the book is I looked up because there's always like oh, you can find those websites just like what's different between the book and the movie, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I looked at some of those, and I gotta say, not to be super stereotypical, but I think I would have liked the book better.
Well, I mean, that's like an obvious thing, no? That's like typical.
No, but it's like it's not even like because there are some people who are like, oh, the book is better, but it's like just because they had time to do more. Like when you compare like the Harry Potter books to the movies, like obviously you're gonna be able to have like way more characters and way more details in a book than in like a 2-hour movie. Like 2 hours is not that much time.
For sure, yeah.
But this wasn't like a more information kind of a better. This is like the story was different kind of a better. So in the book, they really do like they do not ever reveal whether the people were crazy or not.
Really?
And so it's the similar for the first half where they like they kill the first two people and it's the earthquake and the disease, but then after that is when Andrew goes to grab his gun and there's like a struggle, and then while they're fighting over the gun goes off and Wen accidentally gets shot.
Oh,
and so the little girl dies in the middle of the movie, and then they start arguing, well, like, there we go, someone's died. And then Leonard is like,
it's
no,
like you didn't make that choice.
Yeah, like she wasn't a willing sacrifice, so that doesn't count.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And so then I want to say Adrian at some point kills Leonard and helps the family like escape, or I guess not the family anymore, but that helps the couple escape. And she's like, just so you know, like, you still have time to make a choice, and I hope you make the right one or something like that. And then she kills herself.
No way.
And then because the couple decides that they're like, even if they are telling the truth, I refuse to obey a god that wouldn't accept our daughter's sacrifice as being enough. Like if our daughter dying wasn't enough, then I don't care. Let the world end. I'm not gonna do what you're telling me to do.
Fuck it, bro. Fuck it. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it also is like like I was complaining about earlier with the like hundreds of thousands of planes falling out of the sky. I think in the book it's only like 6 or 7, and so it's like a lot easier for them to be like, they're like, see on the news, and they're like there's like some chatter about like some people, maybe they're theorizing that maybe some people had like hacked into like the navigation systems or something like that, and it was like just a global terrorist attack. And I feel like at the
same time, it's like, no.
I know, because I feel like if it was like 1 or 2, then it's like, oh, well, like, obviously planes don't fall out of the sky all the time. Planes are extremely safe. But if it was just 1 or 2, you'd be like, that's just a coincidence. That could have happened for any reason. 7 is like, I think, right on the line where it's like, was this some other event, or was this because of these people? And I think it's like, it's still 7's a good number for being able to go either way, whereas in the movie it's like they flip through like 5 different channels, and every single channel there's like 6 planes falling out of the sky at the same time. I'm like, this is too many.
A lot. Yeah,
I think like the book handled it a little bit better. They kept it a little more in the middle instead of leaning one way or the other.
I mean, do you think maybe the movie wanted to do that?
And then I also like, because no, I don't think the movie was trying to do that at all, because even they very obviously made it so that the people were telling the truth, and then they very obviously made it like after he shot his husband, everything calmed down and stopped. But in the book, it's like, you don't know whether anything is going to stop or whether anything even happened at all. Like, their daughter dies, the other 4 people die and kill themselves, and then the couple just drives off, and then that's it. And it's like, well, either they drive off and the world's about to end, or they drive off and nothing happens because these people were crazy and you just don't know.
Interesting.
I feel like I don't always like open-ended things like that, but I feel like that it could have been a really good open-ended movie, and they just decided to give it a definitive answer, and I wasn't a big fan of that.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah. Valid point.
But yeah, that's all the trivia I got.
Good. No, that was nice. Overall, I would not personally. I don't recommend watching this movie.
Yeah, I think you can probably skip this one.
Definitely, you can skip it unless you like the actors in it and you want to see what kind of dynamic it is. What the movie's like, an hour and 40 minutes long or something
Or
like
you can
that.
just watch the first half and then just stop.
Yeah,
Because the second half I feel like is where most of my problems were.
I agree with that. Yeah, it started off super strong and then it just kind of got overdone, I don't know, over exaggerated.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that.
All right. Well, then let's get wrecked.
Let's do it.
I had something and I forgot to write it down, and now I'm struggling. Give me a second.
No worries.
Damn, I really don't remember. It was yesterday. Yesterday I like thought of something. I was like, oh shit, I should like save this for my recommendation.
Well, while you're thinking, I will go ahead and do mine.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not sure how many of you guys people out there play volleyball or whatnot, but I know how hard it is sometimes to pick a ball, right? There is a very good, it's a beach ball, but you can use it for grass and or sand. And it is the Miramar, Miramar. It's the King of the Beach volleyball by Mikasa, Makasa. Highly recommend that ball. It is what we play with all the time here, and that's probably the ball you should buy. If it's not on sale, it's like $55, but if it is, then it's like $38. So check it out if you like volleyball.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
I've never purchased a volleyball. Every time I play volleyball, it's either like at a sports center where they just have a bunch of them, or someone else has one.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Well, I think maybe once I've bought like a cheap volleyball, just like at like when Elena and I went to Florida, we were like, oh, we should get a volleyball just to like toss around the beach, and we just like stopped by like a convenience store and got one of those like rainbow volleyballs.
Yeah. The good ones.
My recommendation for this week is going to be a book called The Anthropocene Reviewed, which was written by John Green, and it actually, there is a podcast about it. It's John is it's a review podcast and a review book, but the Anthropocene is a term for the era in which the majority of like the state of the world is determined by humans. It's like the age at which we as humans have more control over the world than we did previously.
Interesting. Yeah, it says here it's Essays on a Human-Centered Planet.
Yeah.
Interesting. You read that?
I'm still reading it. I actually purchased it when it came out. I have a signed copy.
Very cool.
But I'm a very slow reader. But I read 2 chapters the other day, and both of them made me cry. John Green is a beautiful writer, and would highly suggest picking up a copy of the book. Or I mean, you can listen to the podcast for free if you want to get a little taste of it. The book has more reviews than the podcast does, but
yeah, the book's 4.7 stars or 4.5 on Google.
Yeah,
and then there's 304 pages. Yeah, this looks pretty cool.
But it's a great read.
How'd you get on it?
I follow the Green brothers on all of the different things that they do. They have several podcasts that I listen to, like 3 or 4 different podcasts. They Hank Green makes a lot of funny like Instagram reels and TikToks and things like that. They also run a educational like company that does a lot of educational YouTube videos. They do like SciShow, and they have one that is like I forget what it's called now. It's Crash Course, where they have like so many different playlists of like, you can do like Crash Course Astronomy, Crash Course Greek Mythology, Crash Course Physics, and just like any topic you can think of, and they'll have a playlist of like 50 different videos where they just like go through and basically like teach you all of the broad concepts. Like they don't really get down into like, you're not doing like formulas or anything like that, but they'll really help you like understand a topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they have stuff going on everywhere. It's like a whole business. But yeah, Hank Green, I think, does more on the like social media side. John, I guess, is more well known for his writing because he also did like his book. He has many books out. Just off the top of my head, he has one called Turtles All the Way Down. He has he wrote The Fault in Our Stars, which obviously got adapted into a fairly popular movie.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Fault in Our Stars?
I think I have, yes.
Yeah,
A while
that's
back,
based off of a John Green novel. So
okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
I can tell you're a fan.
yeah, I really like almost everything that they do. They're great.
That's awesome. Well, good.
Yeah. So that out of the way, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. Tell your friends and family about us. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CashFanPod. If you want to send us a message, you can do so on either of those platforms, or you can send an email to casualfanaticpodcast@gmail.com. Links for all of those will be in the description of this episode. Luca, can you tell them what kind of message they can send us?
Give us basically reviews of what you thought of the movie, or if you, after you heard about, what we were going to be listening to, you watched it and you have your own ideas. Let us know. Definitely tell your friends and family. We want to hear what they want to hear as well. If there's a specific movie that you love, let us know and we will do it for you. What's the next movie so they can prepare?
Yeah, so I think next week we are going to, if you're up for another visit to the movie theater,
Okay.
I think we're going to talk about Renfield.
Renfield. Okay. Don't know what that is. Sounds very
It's got
intriguing.
Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult, and it's a movie about Dracula's assistant trying to not work for Dracula anymore.
That sounds like a funny one. Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, this has been Casual Fanatic. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.